What is going on, IF Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and in this video we're going to talk about when does intermittent fasting start working. Not when does it start burning fat, but when do you actually start to see the results for yourself. Stay tuned. Quickly before I start, just want to remind you the Fledge fitness jump ropes are still in stock. So go ahead and cop them while you can. They're only $16.50, but they are high quality speed jump ropes with an aluminum ergonomic designed handle and swivel design for maximum speed. If you're looking for a jump rope or looking to switch up your cardio workout, look no further. You can click this card on the top left or in the link down in the description below. Now let's go ahead and talk about when do you see your results. Now, I want to talk about this concept because number one, it's different for everyone. And there's no way that I, behind this screen, will know when your results will appear to you. I want to lay down some groundwork though for you to be able to understand when you can see your results or what you can do to kind of mitigate or get through all the noise of what you think you're seeing or what you think you're not seeing in terms of body weight, body mass, etc. Now, if you're asking me when does intermittent fasting start working and you want to know when you're going to start seeing the body fat burn off of your belly, we know that that's something that we can't control. You have to just get down to a low body fat percentage so that you can see abs, for example, and understand that unfortunately, usually the case is that your stomach tends to be the last place that your body fat releases than every other part of your body, but that is all dependent on how your body specifically biologically does that. You have no control over that. But one thing that I do want to tell you is that the scale is not going to be your friend all the time. Now, yes, if you lose weight and you're seeing a drop on the scale and it's just quick and it's fast, it's gonna make you feel good. But let me try to make this as clear as I possibly can. Gaining weight super fast and losing weight super fast is not an indicator of body fat specifically being lost. For example, if you go to sleep and you wake up the next day and you've gained 4 pounds, a lot of people try to use this as an indicator to say, oh my God, my metabolic rate is out of whack now because I started intermittent fasting 3 days ago and I just went to sleep and gained 4 pounds. Calories in versus calories out is still at play here. And it generally takes, we don't know the actual number of anything in terms of calories, but we can guesstimate. It takes about 3,500 calories to produce 1 pound of body fat. It takes around that amount of calories, and you need to have that amount of calories in a net positive, which means your body's also burning calories. So it doesn't simply mean that you ate 3,500 calories. It means that you've taken in and stored 3,500 calories for you to have 1 pound of body fat. So if you went to sleep and woke up and you have 4 pounds more than you did the day before or right before you went to sleep, that doesn't mean that somehow in your sleep you managed to absorb or gain 14,000 calories, because that's what it will take roughly for you to gain that in body fat alone. Understand that that is not what's happening. And on the flip side, if you go to sleep and you wake up and all of a sudden you've lost 4 pounds, that also doesn't mean that you've lost about 14,000 calories in body fat alone. Your body goes through many weight fluctuations. That is why I'm not a fan of the traditional scale, in which is telling you a simple number, because the number itself is so misleading. And there's such a misconception in the rate and speed when it comes to weight loss. A pound of body fat looks like this. Now look at that for a second. Understand that it's covering a lot of space, and that's just 1 pound. So if you have body fat in your face, if you have body fat on your back, lower back, arms, forearms, belly, legs, thighs, you have body fat on your butt, you have body fat essentially all over your body. But to reduce that doesn't necessarily mean that it will be reducing at a pound per reduction. It's going to be eating at it slowly, little by little. So the better measurement for you to understand if this is working, if intermittent fasting is working for you, is to utilize a visual perspective and also how you feel. You tend to feel slimmer when certain things happen, like your pants are loose, your shirt is loose, the belt buckle, you have to go more notches on your belt because of the fact that you've burned off body fat. Look at your face in the mirror. Take pictures of your face. Take pictures of your body. One great indicator is taking pictures of your face. That tends to be the fastest part of your body that gains a little bit of fat and the fastest part of your body that loses a little bit of fat. And just thinking about the fat that's in your face and knowing how much mass 1 pound of body fat takes up, just a reduction in your face won't be 1 pound of body fat. Yes, the answer to this question is nuanced based on everyone's individual biological metabolic system, depending on how much you weigh, depending on how tall you are, depending on so many different variables. But what I want to do here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get you guys to really understand that the scale is not the be all end all. You need to pull yourself away from the scale and understand that you're still progressing. You're still doing something, even though the scale in and of itself isn't telling you a number that you're trying to see. My suggestion is focus more on the visual. The visual will tell you the truer story than the scale. I've said this many times before and I'll say it again. The scale can drastically demotivate you or drastically overhype you. And you don't want to be on any of those extremes, because if you're demotivated, you'll stop whatever you're doing that might be working for you. And if you're overhyped, you might be doing something that isn't working for you, but you think it's working because you lost a lot of water weight that day. Intermittent fasting starts to work immediately. It starts to work right away, but it's not going to take a chunk of fat that's 1 pound out of your body overnight. It's just physiologically impossible. If you're feeling good using the regimen, stick to the regimen. Make sure you take pictures. One thing that I did when I first started was every single Friday, I would take a video of me where I showed my entire body. I would go left, go right, show my back, everything. And then I would look at it and I would compare and contrast it to my previous week. I did that for 1 month straight to see if intermittent fasting would work for me. And I noticed that my weight loss was very, very good in terms of my body composition, not just based on the scale. And as a matter of fact, yes, I was losing weight really, really well, but I know that there's a lot of water weight that was there. But in my last week, it was only like maybe a half a pound or 2 difference, but my body from the week before looked much, much leaner. So the reason that I made this video is to grab your attention, to let you know what you should be thinking of, what you should be looking at, not just focusing specifically on the scale. I need to put more emphasis in this. The scale can give you data points that you need, but if you're looking only at the scale to determine if something is working for you in terms of fat loss, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage psychologically. Use the scale as a data point, but don't use it as the nail in the coffin. Look at yourself in the mirror and take pictures. I can't stress this enough. Hopefully I don't get any more questions about this, or I mitigate these questions, because I don't want you to think that I'm ignoring you, or I feel that, you know, intermittent fasting, it just doesn't work for you because you're not seeing any results or whatever it is. I'm saying this to you so that you understand why you might not be seeing any results as of yet. And also, if your calories are too high, if you're at caloric surplus, you're not going to lose weight. Another thing, if you're at a caloric deficit that is extreme, like something like 600 calories or 800 calories, you might be losing weight, but you are also drastically affecting your metabolic rate, your basal metabolic rate, and that's going to drop, and your body's going to just require less calories. So that means you're going to be dampening your ability to lose weight, because you're going to have to keep doing these unsustainable calorie numbers just to make sure that you're at a good caloric deficit based on the metabolic rate. So make sure you're at a deficit. Make sure it's not too much of an extreme deficit. Use a TDEE calculator, total daily energy expenditure calculator, so that you can see how much energy you're actually expending. Look at a BMR calculator, which is your base metabolic rate. Look at those numbers so that you can determine what your deficit is going to be. If you have those in check, if you're doing intermittent fasting correctly, you will be burning body fat. It's that easy. Just don't stress so much over the scale. And of course, I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon, and I'm going to put their names right up here. And of course, as always, guys, I'll see you on Wednesday for another FAQ. Peace!